James Gunn abruptly became the head of the DC Studios just a couple of months ago. Everyone, including celebrities, were shocked by the sudden news. The DCU Hawkman actor particularly had a few things to say about the whole situation, and that's exactly what we'll be looking at in today's video. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. First up, Hawkman's actor reacts to James Gunn becoming the CEO of DC. Recently, Aldis Hodge, the actor who brought Hawkman to life in the DC Universe film Black Adam, has talked about his excitement over the news that James Gunn and Peter Safran have joined forces with DC Studios. The 2022 release of Black Adam saw many new characters introduced into the ever-expanding franchise, and Hodge's portrayal of Hawkman was the first time a live-action version of the iconic winged warrior appeared on the big screen, after his presence in TV series such as Smallville and Legends of Tomorrow. A while back, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson spoke with Collier about the changes taking place in DC Studios. Johnson's Black Adam character is part of the new direction his studio has taken, which launched in November 1st with Gunn and Safran acting as CEOs. When asked if Hodge had met up with Gunn, he confirmed that they hadn't yet talked, but was positive about the idea of James Gunn taking charge of the DCU. He seemed quite excited about the possibilities of the 10-year plan DC Studios is currently mapping out for the future of their movie franchise. Up next, could Hawkman be part of the new DC Universe? Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam movie was the first of many projects involving the JSA, with DC Studios bringing on Gunn and Safran to handle other films, television, and animation initiatives. While it won't mean starting a new continuity from scratch, they'll be redefining their approach in order to emphasize parts of the DC Universe that have worked well and make changes to elements that haven't been as successful. That way, a more cohesive structure for the franchise is expected to be established. The introduction of Hawkman and other characters in Black Adam has opened up the potential for spin-off projects from Warner Bros. Discovery, whether that be films or TV shows on HBO Max. Although there have been reports about Black Adam's box office results not being as successful as expected, it doesn't necessarily mean these new characters won't appear in other DCU projects. Director Jaume Collet-Serra, who is leading the charge for Black Adam 2, has said that he hopes to see Hawkman in future installments. Only time will tell whether Hawkman, Black Adam, and the other characters from JSA will find a place in DC's decade-long franchise plan as mapped out by Gunn and Safran. Despite Black Adam's box office woes, Hawkman was one of the more popular aspects of the movie and is one of DC's most recognizable recent heroes. Whether they receive their own DCU TV show or movie, there's a lot the franchise can do with these characters. Black Adam has only given us a glimpse of what could be possible, and hopefully DC Studios will find room for Hawkman as well as other characters from JSA soon in the future. Coming up, what does James Gunn mean for the DC Universe? The future of the DCU franchise looks brighter than ever, with James Gunn and Peter Safran appointed to co-head DC Studios in 2022. With a focus on long-term planning and a structure similar to Marvel's MCU, Gunn has been transparent about the upcoming changes to the DC world, revealing details and debunking rumors on social media. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav has also mentioned his passion for a successful revamp of the DCEU after its previous critical and commercial struggles, and it seems like they'll be changing everything in the current DC universe. First up, lost projects won't be revived. James Gunn has made it clear that DC's focus is on moving forward with new projects, even though passionate fan campaigns like Restore the Snyderverse, Release the Ayer Cut, and Save Legends of Tomorrow have been created in response to DC's shifts over the years. Although he's acknowledged the dedication of fans, it's obvious these projects won't be revived. DC is looking to create new stories and further explore its universe rather than continuing with past storylines or canceled shows. This approach has been met with excitement from fans who are eager for more content from the world of DC. Up next, DC will be a multi-platform franchise. James Gunn has confirmed that the new DCU won't just be limited to movies, but will also include TV shows and video games. He said that these different media platforms will all tie into the main cinematic franchise, creating a larger universe for fans to explore. This means that fans of DC Comics can now access and enjoy their favorite characters across multiple platforms. It's no surprise that HBO Max is looking to welcome some DC content, with live action, 2D animation, and 3D animation all being part of the mix. After all, Gunn is already a showrunner on Peacemaker, and Marvel has seen great success taking this approach on Disney+. Coming up, there's gonna be a new Superman. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably heard about the awful news that Henry Cavill won't be playing Superman anymore. Because of this, a lot of rumors started spreading online that James Gunn actually didn't like the actor, which is why he left. But that obviously isn't true. The real reason makes way more sense. DC films are aiming for a younger Superman, and unfortunately, Cavill no longer fills the bill since he's already an established actor in his late 30s. Gunn himself has said that making this new version of the superhero flick is a huge priority. James Gunn recently announced on Twitter that DC Universe's upcoming Superman movie wouldn't be another version of the same origin story fans have seen countless times before. Instead, it will follow in the footsteps of Batman and Spider-Man, introducing a younger hero who is already established in his world. This means that audiences won't be seeing another iteration of Superman meeting familiar characters like Lois Lane and Lex Luthor for the first time. This means that the DCU Superman movie will focus on a different story than what has been seen before, taking a fresh approach to the character. Matt Reeves' Batman won't be part of the DC universe. It was reported back in December 2022 that James Gunn and Peter Safran were looking into ways to link the upcoming Matt Reeves' The Batman movie, starring Robert Pattinson as the Caped Crusader, with their own DC extended universe. Not only is this movie set to launch in its own spin-offs surrounding Colin Farrell's Penguin character, but it seems like the possibility of an interconnected universe is being explored. This kind of collaboration could bring together a shared universe that extends across different characters and stories for an even more immersive experience. When the news of the Batman separating from other DC movies came out, fans were naturally not very happy. But director James Gunn quickly clarified on Twitter that the report wasn't true, meaning that the Batman would still be existing as a separate entity outside the DC universe. This was likely a big relief for director Matt Reeves, who can continue on with production without any hindrance, and obviously the fans who were beginning to think the worst. Finally, there might be a full DC recast. Given Henry Cavill's exit, the DCU might have to recast some of its existing roles. This could be a challenge since many of these characters have already interacted with and referred to one another in the films. For example, it would be pretty weird to replace Ben Affleck as Batman while Margot Robbie remains as Harley Quinn when they've had scenes together and even made references to one another. This could be a tricky situation for James Gunn and Peter Safran since they will have to decide how to handle the casting issues while still keeping consistency in the DCU universe. In response to the question of recasting some characters in DC movies, Gunn tweeted a partial answer saying that the Suicide Squad wouldn't be affected. This could mean either that all existing roles will be recast or only certain ones, but those chosen to make it through wouldn't necessarily only be from the Suicide Squad. Moving on, what did Marvel actors think of James Gunn going to DC? When the news about James Gunn taking on a role as co-CEO of DC Studios was made public, many close to him showed their support and congratulations. First up, Sean Gunn. His brother, Sean Gunn, responded to an earlier tweet asking for James to take over the DC universe with a soothsayer and great taste in basketball teams. It was pretty clear that he was particularly excited about the move. Sean Gunn has worked with Marvel for years now, but he's still happy for his brother and his success with DC. Moving on, we have Michael Rosenbaum. Michael Rosenbaum, who starred in the movie Smallville and played Martin X in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, was excited about the news that James Gunn had been rehired to direct Volume 3 and tweeted his congratulations. Well, it would be a bit of an understatement to say he was just excited. His tweet made it seem like he would burst with happiness. Coming up, Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson, director of Marvel's first Doctor Strange film, also posted a congratulatory message for Gunn, saying the news was great for him and for the movies. Even though these two didn't really work together that much, they still seem to have a lot of respect for each other. Up next, Kumail Nanjiani. Kumail Nanjiani, Kingo, from the Eternals movie, was ecstatic at the news of James Gunn directing a new DC movie. He's hoping that it'll include one of the more obscure DC heroes, Ambush Bug. He joked that he can't wait for a series of movies dedicated to his hero. Finally, Michael B. Jordan. We all know actions speak louder than words, and that's exactly why Black Panther actor Michael B. Jordan chose to let emojis speak for him. He didn't say anything, but posted 6 fire emojis in a row as congratulations to James Gunn. That's a wrap for today's video. Were you also shocked by James Gunn taking over the DC studios like Hawkman's actor? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this one. We'll see you in the next one.